So I'm not dying without having lived first. My name is Mr. 2020. You are listening to the Power of Imagination podcast, where we explore one thing and one thing only: the wonder working power of the wonderful human imagination, the power of vision. Neville Goddard says you must raise your imagination to the level of vision. Hey, you want to know how you can tell if you haven't done that yet? Inner arguments. If you're still having inner arguments and going back and forth and asking a lot of questions and doubting your desires and your divinity, you haven't raised it to the level of vision yet. So let's dive in. Don't die before you give birth to your dreams. Here's the thing, right? Sooner or later, protoplasm wears out or it gets hit by a bus. Right? You don't pass go anymore. You do not collect $200. You older kids will remember the game of Monopoly. You're taken off the board. Now here's the thing. I don't want to scare you. I want to stretch you. Because where are you winning today? I was just having a chat with a friend of mine. I'm a master of productivity. Maybe you've noticed. And most people are masters of procrastination. Maybe you've noticed. And my key to productivity is this. I imagine the book finished, done and dusted, doing great. What implies the book is finished, done and dusted, doing great? And I imagine just having had written some really kick-ass shit. I'm not talking like, oh, that was good, I got a task done. I don't do tasks. Right? I do tangos. I dance. And most people dread doing another task, hoping someday to get the book done, when they can't even imagine having it written a kick-ass chapter. Because you need both. And I know, somebody's going to argue with me. Well, show me your results. I'll show you mine. Right? It's throwdown time. It's time for you to throw away what you really need to throw up. In other words, don't let shit in your belly. You know, just stop doing that. Don't let your dreams die. By the way, here's one of the secret dream killers. Ready? Daydreaming. When you daydream, it feels good, but it kills your dreams and desires. It's sort of like, I shared about Gordon. He enjoyed looking at girls on the internet. He never bothered learning how to talk to them. And I can tell you, learning how to talk to a girl and talking to a girl is a lot more fun than like looking at them on the internet. All right? It's just one of them their things. What would happen if, you see, Gordon imagined score, right? And he'd have his score happen, right? Meanwhile, he didn't imagine what it's like flirting. Just having flirted with a girl and had a blast. Just having flirted with a girl and her having a blast. Yes, Alminda, you're the boom in the room. You're the master of the blaster. And instead of waiting for disaster again, another day, still haven't written much. Another day, hey, you could die. Or you could what's worse than dying? Letting your dreams die. You know what's worse than letting your dreams die? Watching them twitch. Watching them gasp for air. Meanwhile, so I shared a cool little two-step formula today. I'd love to know if you heard it. Drop me a note. Let me know. What was the strawberry bit that you got from this episode? In other words, what's the number one thing you're going to take and run with today? Drop me a note. Let me know. There's a lot of ways to get a hold of me. I'm really easy to find and impossible to escape from. So unless you just choose to ignore what works and ignore the guy that's on your team. But anyway, years ago, I had a mentor that said, your father, when he dies, you're going to realize you lost the one man on the planet who every day of his life imagined you doing better than him. Feel free to call me Daddy. Or at least Uncle. Uncle 20, that's pretty good. Because I'm imagining you doing even better than I do at nailing your dreams. Because if I can be like Neville, I don't always score, but I have a lot of wins. I've got my daily wins. I've got my Abdullah wins. I'm having a blast. But if you can go to bed accomplished and satisfied, knowing that you owned your day, I've served my mission. And that's what I got today. My name is Mr. 2020. You've been listening to the Power of Imagination podcast, where we explore one thing and one thing only, the power of vision, the power of the wonderful human imagination, the wonder-working power that you are. And now for fun, let's imagine up something yummy as we go into the silence. Can you imagine what would have happened if the Beatles didn't surrender to their vision? If they refused to play their instruments? If they refused to write their songs? How about Rocky Balboa, or the real guy, Sylvester Stallone? What if he chose to never complete a damn thing? That movie changed my life. How about you? One day I met a girl. And I decided greatness. I didn't let anything get in the way. And you know what? First year or so, there were some ups and there were some downs. There were some challenges. There were some pretty dark moments. But we remembered love, sunshine. You are the sunshine that shines through the clouds, that is above the clouds. And when you let the clouds get blown away, it's time to dive deeper. It's time to soar higher. It's time not to let your dreams die. It's time to live before you die. Have a great day. Sharing is caring. See ya.